All of you, good morning, dear young minds. Welcome back to biology session. Today, our important concept biotechnology principles and process. Very important chapter. This chapter has a good weightage for NEET object exam. Similarly, KCET exam. Last year, 2020 NEET object exam, total 6 questions covered from this chapter. Even in 2021 NEET object exam also we are expecting minimum 3 questions and maximum 5 questions. Okay, right. First, what is biotechnology? It is a branch of biological science dealing with study of genes, importance of genes, production of different types of industrial products like proteins, enzymes, hormones, vitamins, and antibiotics for industrial scale requirement in the laboratory level in a scientific manner is called biotechnology. Right? Biotechnology principles and process. Who is known as founders of biotechnology? Means Herbert Boyer and Stanley Norman Cohen. Herbert Boyer and Stanley Norman Cohen, these two fellows, these two scientists performed researches on biotechnology. Hence, they were known as founders of biotechnology. Clear? Herbert Boyer from Pennsylvania. Stanley Norman Cohen from America. Herbert Boyer first discovered and studied importance of enzymes, different types of enzymes such as restriction endonuclease enzymes and restriction exonuclease enzymes. He found the functions of restriction endonuclease enzymes and exonuclease enzymes. Endonuclease enzymes cut DNA at the middle of the DNA. Restriction endonuclease enzymes cut DNA at middle, whereas restriction exonuclease enzymes cut DNA at sides, ends. Exo means outer side. So exonuclease enzymes cut DNA at the ends, sides. These two types of enzymes play a crucial role in biotechnology principles and processes for the construction of recombinant DNA. Later, Cohen, Stanley Norman Cohen, another scientist, he discovered plasmid. Plasmid, also called vector. What is vector? Autonomously replicating circular extrachromosomal DNA is called vector. Once repeat, autonomously replicating circular extrachromosomal DNA is termed as vector or plasmid. Plasmids common in all prokaryotes, that means particularly bacteria. Plastid different, plasmid different, you don't confuse. Plasmid means additional extrachromosomal DNA, circular DNA. Ring shaped DNA is called plasmid. Plastid means cell organelle. Chloroplasts, chromoplasts, leucoplasts. This topic already covered in previous chapter, first year, cell the unit of life. Hence, you don't confuse between plasmid and plastid. Clear? Next to definition given by EFB, European Federation of Biotechnology. European Federation of Biotechnology. They given one meaningful definition regarding biotechnology, that is the integration of natural science and organisms, cells, parts thereof, and molecular analogues for products and services. This is the meaningful definition given by European Federation of Biotechnology regarding biotechnology principles and processes. NCERT lines. You must by heart this definition. Sometimes they prepare questions based on EFB definition, right? Next to principles. Principles of biotechnology. Principles of biotechnology. There are two principles, namely genetic engineering bioprocess engineering. Bioprocess engineering. two principles very important, right? Genetic engineering include identification of host and identification of desired plasmid, isolation of plasmid, cutting of plasmid, and separation of desired DNA fragments from plasmid. Okay, and introduction of desired DNA, that means foreign gene, introduction of foreign gene or alien piece of DNA into suitable vector, later vector introduced into host cell. This total mechanism comes under genetic engineering. Very simple concept, it won't confuse. First, identification of host organism and source organism means bacteria. Identification of plasmid with desired DNA fragments. Isolation of plasmid, cutting of plasmid. Remember, plasmid also called DNA. Circular DNA, both are same, it won't confuse. So cutting of DNA means plasmid with the help of endonuclease enzymes, and separation of DNA fragments, identification of desired DNA fragments, that is also called foreign DNA. Foreign DNA also called alien piece of DNA. Gene of interest, gene of interest. This all terms use same meaning. Once repeat, foreign DNA also called alien piece of DNA, also called gene of interest. These three terms use same meaning. So foreign DNA introduced into suitable vector, then vector introduced into host. This total mechanism comes under genetic engineering. Next to bioprocess engineering. After introduction of foreign gene into suitable selectable host cell, then host cells culture on culture medium in the laboratory level on sterilized nutrient culture medium. It requires bioreactors. So bioreactors are of two kinds: simple stirred tank bioreactor, sparged stirred tank bioreactor. Clear? A simple stirred tank bioreactor is most effective bioreactor than to that of sparged stirred tank bioreactor, right? So the final step of biotechnology is downstream processing. Downstream processing, shortly called DSP, downstream processing. It includes three steps: separation, purification, and preservation. SPP, small code, SPP, separation of DNA, purification of DNA, and preservation of DNA. That is about downstream processing. This whole mechanism comes under bioprocess engineering. Hope you understood. So these two are the principles of biotechnology, right? And we are expecting questions from what are the principles of biotechnology and their importance, right? Next to rDNA technology, construction of recombinant DNA. The first recombinant DNA first constructed by Herbert Boyer and Stanley Norman Cohen. They used two types of bacteria: Salmonella Panama, one bacteria; Salmonella typhimurium, another bacteria. This is Salmonella typhimurium. Another one, Salmonella Panama. Remember microbe names, don't forget. Main DNA, extrachromosomal DNA. Extrachromosomal DNA also called plasmid. Clear? Plasmid. Salmonella, S stands for Salmonella genus. Salmonella Panama, Salmonella typhimurium, one bacteria. Salmonella Panama, another bacteria. This is source bacteria. Source bacteria. It is host cell. Host cell. Right? Or this is not host cell. Another source bacteria. These two are source bacteria. First, Herbert Boyer and Stanley Norman Cohen isolated plasmid from both bacteria by adding lysozyme enzyme, because lysozyme enzyme digest wall, bacteria wall. Okay, so by adding lysozyme enzyme, they separated plasmid. Right? The same enzyme, lysozyme, used for Salmonella Panama also. Hence, they collected two types of plasmids from two different cells. Next, they used restriction endonuclease enzyme. An example, EcoR1. EcoR1 stands for Escherichia coli RY13, isolation number 1. Escherichia genus. Escherichia genus. Coli species. R is strain. Strain means nothing but variety. Roman number 1, Roman letter 1 indicates isolation number. You remember nomenclature of restriction endonuclease enzymes and exonuclease enzymes. One important to read objective question. If you take any restriction endonuclease enzyme, first letter indicates genus. Next two letters indicates species. Next letter indicates, that means fourth letter indicates strain. Strain means variety. And the last Roman number indicates isolation number. That is called nomenclature of restriction endonuclease enzymes and exonuclease enzymes. Clear? EcoR1 stands for Escherichia coli RY13, isolation number 1. It is one of the restriction endonuclease enzymes that cut plasmid at a particular site. At a particular site. Okay. Cut piece separated. Cut piece separated. That is called foreign gene. Foreign gene. Foreign gene also called gene of interest or alien piece of DNA. Not alien, alien piece of DNA. Right? And they collected another plasmid from another bacteria called Salmonella Panama. The same restriction endonuclease enzyme used to cut plasmid. This cut piece removed and they received rest of the piece. Okay. Foreign gene ligated with vector DNA. It is foreign gene, it is vector. Foreign gene ligated with vector DNA with the help of ligase enzyme. Ligase enzyme. Clear? See, I am showing here. Okay. Once a foreign gene ligated with the vector DNA, then it is called rDNA, recombinant DNA. rDNA stands for recombinant DNA. Very simple. Then recombinant DNA introduced into host. Host cell example, E. coli bacteria, Escherichia coli bacteria. E. coli. Mostly E. coli bacteria acts as host. Based on this concept, Herbert Boyer and Stanley Norman Cohen constructed the first recombinant DNA. This is the first recombinant DNA. Clear? Once go through mechanism, first they selected two bacteria, Salmonella typhimurium, Salmonella panama, by using an enzyme, namely lysozyme enzyme. Digest cell wall, bacteria wall. Thereby they collected plasmids and they added restriction endonuclease enzymes. Endonuclease enzyme cut DNA, means plasmid DNA at a particular site. That is called palindromic sequence. Each palindromic sequence equals to one foreign gene. Next, from another bacteria, they collected vector DNA. They used the same restriction endonuclease enzyme for cutting vector. Cut piece removed and it is replaced with foreign gene. Okay, foreign gene ligated with vector DNA. It is called ligation. Ligation require an enzyme called ligase. DNA ligase. Ligase means joining, linkage. Clear? Okay. Then it is called recombinant DNA. Once foreign gene ligated with vector DNA, then it is known as recombinant DNA. That is what? Genetically modified DNA. Genetically modified DNA is called recombinant DNA. Then recombinant DNA introduced into suitable host called E. coli, Escherichia coli. Later Escherichia coli cultured on culture medium. On culture medium, Escherichia coli multiply and produce large number of copies of foreign gene, because foreign gene undergo replication inside the host and equally distributed to all daughter cells. Then all daughter cells received foreign gene. That is the reason all daughter cells produce products. The type of product is depend on the type of foreign gene. Suppose if it is antibiotic encoding gene, means this host cell produce antibiotics. Or else what? If it is protein encoding gene, means host cells produce proteins. If it is hormones encoding gene or vaccines encoding gene, means obviously host cells produce hormones or vaccines respectively. So the type of product is depend on the type of foreign gene. That's all. This is about construction of the first recombinant DNA. Right? Very important. And we are expecting questions from this area. What is the enzyme used for dilution of cell wall in bacteria? Answer: lysozyme enzyme. Which enzyme mostly used as restriction endonuclease enzyme? EcoR1, their full form. Everything important. Right? Microbe names, bacteria names also important. Host cell name also important. Difference between normal vector and recombinant DNA. That was important. Vector means without foreign gene. Recombinant DNA means with foreign gene. That's all. Clear? Okay. So this topic is important too. Next to go through 3 basic steps. Three basic steps in construction of modified gene, construction of recombinant DNA. What are the steps? The first step is identification of desired gene. Second step, introduction of desired gene into vector. Okay. Next, third step, vector introduced into host organism and maintenance of vector in host organism and its transfer to progeny. These are the 3 basic steps in construction of recombinant DNA technology. Once I repeat: identification of foreign gene, or identification of gene with degenerate characters, and introduction of foreign gene into suitable vector, and third step, introduction of vector into uh, host organism, and maintenance of vector in host organism, and its transfer to progeny. These are the three basic steps of construction of recombinant DNA technology. Sometimes question paper setter prepare questions, what are the steps involved in construction of recombinant DNA technology or genetic engineering technology? Very important. NCERT concepts, NCERT lines. 3 steps important. Right? Next to tools. Tools of recombinant DNA technology. Tools of recombinant DNA technology. I wrote short form technology. What are the tools? First, enzymes, restriction enzymes. Restriction enzymes. Next to vector. Next to host. Restriction enzymes are of two kinds. Methylase enzymes. Methylase enzymes. Endonuclease enzymes. Endonuclease enzymes. Clear? These two enzymes discovered in the year 1963. Important. Vector host 2. Then ligase enzyme. Polymerase enzyme. Polymerase enzyme. That's all. 5 tools very important. Tools of recombinant DNA technology. Restriction enzymes. Why it is called restriction? Means an enzyme which cut DNA at a particular site is called restriction. Such enzymes are called restriction enzymes. Restriction enzymes broadly are of two kinds. Restriction exonuclease enzymes, endonuclease enzymes. Just now I told restriction exonuclease enzymes cut DNA at sites. Whereas restriction endonuclease enzyme cut DNA or vector at middle at a particular site. That is called specific recognition sequence, otherwise called palindromic sequence. Palindromic sequence. Clear? Here enzymes are of two kinds. Methylase enzymes, endonuclease enzymes. These two enzymes play a crucial role in construction of recombinant DNA. Methylase enzyme protect main DNA. Suppose go through diagrammatic representation. A bacteria cell, main DNA, plasmid DNA. It is main DNA, means naked DNA. Naked DNA function, inheritance, transmission of characters from parent to progeny over several generations. That's all. It is plasmid, extra chromosomal DNA, also called vector. Usually bacteria consists of endonuclease enzymes. Endonuclease enzymes. Both endonuclease enzymes and methylase enzymes. Methylase enzymes also present in cytoplasm of bacteria. Usually endonuclease enzymes attack main DNA and plasmid DNA, cut DNA at a particular site. But methylase enzyme protect main DNA from the activity of endonuclease enzyme. Because if endonuclease enzyme cut main DNA means it is unable to involve in inheritance process. Therefore, methylase enzyme protect main DNA from the activity of endonuclease enzyme. Hence, it is completely protected from the activity of endonuclease enzyme. Therefore, endonuclease enzyme always act on plasmid. It cut plasmid at a particular site, that is called palindromic sequence. Cut piece equals to one foreign gene or alien piece of DNA, gene of interest, etc. That is the importance of enzymes. Next, vector. Just now I told vector also called plasmid. Autonomously replicating circular extrachromosomal DNA is called vector or plasmid. Both are same. Don't confuse. Next, host. RNA technology also require host. Best example, E. coli, Escherichia coli. Majority of world scientists performed experiments on E. coli and they used E. coli as host cell because E. coli receives positively any foreign gene into their body and replicate its number of copies. It is able to produce large number of copies, that is called replica. Okay. Therefore, host best example E. coli, Escherichia coli. Next, ligase, an enzyme. Ligase enzyme play a crucial role in ligation. Ligation means joining foreign gene linked with vector DNA. That is called ligation. Polymerase enzyme. After introduction of foreign gene into host cell, foreign gene multiply its number of copies, produce large number of copies. How it is possible? Due to the activity of polymerase enzyme. Polymerase enzyme increase the large number of foreign genes. Therefore, foreign gene replicate inside the host. That's all. These are the 5 important tools that are required for RNA technology. Dear students, all of you focus on these tools. What is the first restriction endonuclease enzyme? HIND2. HIND2 is the first restriction endonuclease enzyme. It was constructed in the year 1973. Which is the first restriction endonuclease enzyme? Means HIND2 stands for Haemophilus influenza D2. Haemophilus genus, influenza species, D strain or variety. 2 is isolation number. This is the first isolated restriction endonuclease enzyme in the year 1973. Years also important. Later, nearly 900 different varieties of restriction enzymes isolated from over bacteria. How many bacteria? 230 strains. 900 different varieties of restriction enzymes isolated over 230 strains of bacteria. Data also important for NEET objective exam. Clear? Out of which the first restriction endonuclease enzyme is HIND2. Its nomenclature also important, right? Genus, species, strain, and isolation number. That's all. Next concept. Construction of recombinant DNA. Construction of recombinant DNA. Vector DNA, foreign DNA. It is vector DNA. A T T C, G A T T C. It is a palindromic sequence. Palindromic sequence. You know very well what is palindromic sequence. Palindromic sequence means a sequence of base pairs that gives same meaning or same noise, same sound when we read in forward direction or backward direction. Such sequence is called palindromic sequence. Best example, the best example, Malayalam. Malayalam. General example. Some other examples: race car. Race car. One more example: and Madam DNA. And Madam DNA. So these are the best examples of palindromic sequence: Malayalam, race car, and Madam DNA. If you read this sequence in forward direction or backward direction, that gives the same meaning, same sound, same sequence. See, Malayalam, Malayalam, race car, and Madam DNA, and Madam DNA. These are the best examples for understand of palindromic sequence. And subject example: GAA TTC, GAA TTC. Right? Polarity 5' to 3' one strand, and 5' to 3' opposite strand. It is vector DNA. Next, go through foreign DNA sequence: GAATTC, GAATTC, palindromic sequence. Right? An enzyme, namely EcoR1, restriction endonuclease enzyme EcoR1, cut both DNA, vector DNA sequence and foreign DNA sequence at a particular site, exactly between G and C. G and C. Guanine, adenine. Guanine, adenine. Here also same, between G and C. Right? So this cut piece, cut and eliminated this sequence, and from this side cut piece. Restriction endonuclease enzyme, namely EcoR1, cut foreign DNA sequence and vector DNA sequence at a particular site, that is called between guanine and adenine. Guanine, adenine, guanine, adenine, guanine, adenine. So arrow mark showing cutting site. Cutting site. That is first step. Right? You remember, these are the general examples, general common examples to understand the concept of palindromic sequence. Subject example: GATTC. Last year in 2020 NEET object exam, one question asked based on this sequence GAATTC. In the sequence, how many base pairs are there? 6 base pairs are there. First base pair, second base pair, third base pair, 4, 5, 6. So number of base pairs are 6. Same, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 base pairs. And what is the number of hydrogen bonds present in this palindromic sequence? That also important. See, I show separately GAATTC. GAATTC. As all of you know, number of hydrogen bonds between guanine and cytosine, triple bond. Adenine, thymine, double bond. Double bond, double bond, double bond, triple bond. Now we have to count what is the total number of hydrogen bonds present in palindromic sequence. 3 plus 2, 5 plus 2, 7 plus 2, 9 plus 2, 11 plus 3, 30. Sorry, 14. Total number of base pairs. The number of base pairs in palindromic sequence 14. Total 14 base pairs are there in GAA TTC palindromic sequence. Sometimes question paper setter prepare questions based on this concept also. The first question, what is the total number of base pairs present in palindromic sequence GAA TTC? Next question, what is the total number of hydrogen bonds present in palindromic sequence? Total 14. Understood? Okay. One important area for NEET object exam and set exams. That is it is first step. Next go to second step. Now write rest of the sequence. This cut piece removed. Cut piece removed. GC TTAA TTAA because cut piece removed. Right? Next, this cut piece also removed. Write rest of the sequence AATTC. AATTC and G. Right? So after removal of cut piece, DNA has single strand. Both vector DNA and foreign DNA has single strand. DNA with single strand is called sticky end. Sticky end. These two are sticky ends. Sticky ends. These two sticky ends are complementary to each other. Complementary means correct match. See, thymine pair with adenine. Thymine, adenine. Thymine, adenine. Adenine, thymine. Adenine, thymine. Clear? So, a DNA with a single strand is called sticky end. These two sticky ends are always complementary to each other and join with each other with the help of an enzyme, namely DNA ligase enzyme. Ligase enzyme, right? So ligase enzyme join these two ends. Then go through sequence. G A G C T T A A. Next to write the same sequence A T T C. A T T C and G. Understood? Say a DNA with foreign gene is called recombinant DNA, shortly called rDNA. rDNA, recombinant DNA, also called genetically modified DNA. This is the mechanism of construction of recombinant DNA. Understood now? Very simple concept. You no need to fear about this. Select the first vector DNA and foreign DNA. Vector DNA obtained from one source bacteria. Foreign DNA obtained from another source bacteria. Suppose vector DNA obtained from Salmonella Panama bacteria and foreign DNA obtained from Salmonella typhimurium bacteria, and they used one of the restriction endonuclease enzyme for cutting of both DNA. Suppose if you use two different restriction endo enzymes means sequence will get changed. This palindromic sequence get changed. Therefore, better use only single restriction endonuclease enzyme for cutting of vector DNA and foreign DNA. Hence, EcoR1 enzyme cut palindromic sequence between guanine, adenine in both of the cases. Cut piece eliminated. Rest of the single strand is called sticky ends. Okay, so sticky ends are always complementary to each other because these two DNA cut by same restriction endonuclease enzyme. That is the main point. Remember, don't forget. And with the help of DNA ligase enzyme, we can add these two sticky ends that result in construction of recombinant DNA. That's all. Now, a recombinant DNA introduced into suitable host. Later, host transferred to bioreactors, because bioreactor means what? It is a large vessel. Large vessel provide all suitable conditions for growing microbes. Bioreactor provide all suitable conditions such as proper temperature. It contain temperature control mechanism, form control mechanism, regular aeration mechanism, regular culture medium stirring mechanism, and curved base of the bioreactor. Due to this reason, bioreactor provide all suitable conditions for growing microbes. Under these conditions, microbes pick up all types of nutrients from culture medium and produce large number of copies. At the same time, foreign gene also replicate inside the host, equally distributed to all daughter cells. After production of large number of copies, all bacteria cells produce products. Products example, proteins, antibiotics, enzymes, hormones, vaccines, etc. The type of product is depend on the type of foreign gene. Understood now? There is a separate foreign gene for each and every product. Some foreign genes produce antibiotics, that is called antibiotic encoding gene. Some foreign genes produce proteins, that is called protein encoding gene. Okay, vitamins encoding gene, etc. That is about construction of recombinant DNA technology. Understood? NCERT book concepts. In NCERT book, total 2 diagrams given. These 2 diagrams are same. You have to follow any one of the diagrams. In separate left and right side, there are 2 pages. In 2 pages, they given 2 diagrams, out of which I draw only one of the diagram here. One more diagram also are there. These 2 same, right? It is about construction of recombinant DNA technology and recombinant DNA by using endonuclease enzymes and ligase enzymes. Enzyme names are very important, right? Next concept, separation. And isolation of DNA fragments. Separation and isolation of DNA fragments. Very important. Separation and isolation of DNA fragments. After identification of a foreign gene, cut foreign gene by using restriction endonuclease enzymes, and restriction endonuclease enzymes cut foreign gene at a particular sequence. Hence, the length and width of the DNA fragments vary. Then how can we segregate the DNA fragments based on their length and width? Means by using a special method that is called agarose gel electrophoresis. Agarose gel electrophoresis. Roughly go through diagrammatic representation. Diagrammatic representation. It contains its own wells or pits. wells or pits. These are cut DNA fragments. Cut DNA fragments. And since DNA is negatively charged particle, move further away towards positive pole. Cathode negative charge, anode positive charge. So under electric field, DNA fragments move towards anode. Okay, and it is filled with agarose gel. Trade agarose gel. Right, inside book diagram. Wells or pits, lane 1, lane 2, lane 3, lane 4. Lane 1, lane 2, lane 3, lane 4. Wells or pits. First, cut DNA fragments, collect and place in wells. It is one plastic tray filled with agarose gel. Agarose gel is one of the natural polymer obtained from rhodophycean members such as Gelidium and Gracilaria. It is semi-fluid in nature, white in color, play a crucial role in separation of DNA fragments based on their size, length and width. Agarose gel electrophoresis means agarose gel create sieving effect. Sieving means vibration effect. Due to its sieving effect, all DNA fragments move further away, but some DNA fragments remain settled very near to wells, and some DNA fragments move further away towards anode pole. Fragments which are small in size and thin in nature move further away towards anode pole, and fragments which are big in size remain settled very near to wells. So thick DNA fragments are called undigested DNA fragments, and thin DNA fragments are called digested DNA fragments. Mostly thin fragments are digested DNA fragments, right? Based on that means under electric field, DNA fragments move further away due to the sieving effect of agarose gel. Now all DNA fragments separated from each other based on their size, length and width. Now we need to separate these fragments from agarose gel. That is called elution. Elution means what? Very important. The process of cutting out of DNA fragments from agarose gel is called elution. Okay, suppose these are separated DNA fragments from agarose gel, right? But we cannot see these microscopic fragments because these fragments are very microscopic in nature, very small in size, hence we are unable to observe. Then how can we identify these fragments? Means by following visualization. Very simple concept. Take one empty glass tube, collect all DNA fragments into empty glass tube, then add a reagent that is called ethidium bromide, shortly called ETBR. ETBR stands for ethidium bromide, light orange color reagent. Add few drops of ethidium bromide. Then test tube expose under ultraviolet rays. Under ultraviolet rays we can observe light orange colored DNA bands. light orange colored DNA bands under ultraviolet rays. That phenomena is called visualization. Very important. Illusion, visualization, reagent name also important. And the mechanism of separation and isolation of DNA fragments by using agarose gel electrophoresis, also very important for NEET object exam and KCET exams. In 2020 NEET object exam, one question covered from illusion and etherium bromide, right? NCERT book concepts. All of you concentrate on this area. My suggestion, don't do neglect. Read NCERT lines properly. At the same time, study once or twice diagrammatic representation. Then practice objective questions. Clear? Understood now? Next to chlorine vector. Chlorine vector. About concept. Roughly go through once diagrammatic representation of chlorine vector. PBr 322. PBr 322. Ampicillin resistance gene, tetracycline resistance gene, right? This dotted area indicates ampicillin resistance gene. Opposite side, tetracycline resistance gene. Clear? CLA1. Bomb Haemophilus. Hind 3. Next, bomb H1. Next, Sol1. Next, ORI. Next, ROP. PVU2. PVU1. PST1. EcoR1. Once you have to count what is the total number of restriction enzymes. These are all restriction enzymes. Start from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. There are 8 restriction enzymes ligated with PBr 322. PBr 322. P stands for plasmid. B for Bolivar, scientist name Bolivar. R means Rodriguez, another scientist. Bolivar, Rodriguez, isolation number 322. Shortly called PBr 322. It is one of the artificial plasmid. Later, PBr 323, 325, 327, 328 varieties of plasmid also constructed. Bolivar and Rodriguez, these two scientists constructed different types of plasmids. Okay, as the name indicates, plasmid name is PBr 322, 323, 325, 327, and PVU 19, PVU 101. Other varieties, PVU not PUC 191. PUC 19, PUC 111, etc. P stands for plasmid. UC stands for University of California. Plasmid, University of California, isolation number 19, isolation number 111. 111. These are the other varieties of plasmids. So, according to our NCERT concept, all of you focus on PBR 322, and once you go through its full form also important. This and all restriction enzymes. CLA1 full form Caryophenol latum. Caryophenol latum, that is source bacteria. From source bacteria they collected restriction enzyme, that is ligated with vector. That's all. Next, HIND3 full form Haemophilus influenza D3. Haemophilus influenza is source bacteria. From source bacteria they isolated restriction enzyme, that is called HIND3. It was ligated with vector. Next, BAMH1 Bacillus amylolic faciens. Bacillus amylolic faciens H1. Okay, Bacillus amylolic faciens is source bacteria. It is restriction enzyme. This one ligated at tetracycline resistance gene. Tetracycline resistance gene site. SAL1 stands for Streptococcus albus. Streptococcus albus, source bacteria. PBU2 full form Proteus vulgaris. Proteus vulgaris, source bacteria. ROP stands for replication of plasmid. Replication of protein. Replication of protein. These proteins required for replication of plasmid. That's all. ORI stands for origin of replication. Origin of replication. PST1 stands for Providentia stewarti. Providentia stewarti. Isolation number 1. It is attached with ligated with amphicerin resistance gene. Right? PVU1. Same. Proteus vulgaris 1. Proteus vulgaris 2. Proteus vulgaris 1 attached with ligated with amphicerin resistance gene. PVU2 ligated with ROP site. You know well, ECO R1, Escherichia coli, RY13, isolation number 1. These are the 8 different types of restriction enzymes that are collected from different source bacteria and ligated into a vector, that is called PBR322. Right? Understood? Now, cloning vector. Cloning. What is cloning? A process of production of large number of genetically identical copies. Large number of genetically identical copies is called cloning vector. Vector means nothing but plasmid. Plasmid. First, ORI. Important. ORI. Just now I said that ORI stands for origin of replication. It has its own palindromic sequence. Suppose I show here GAATTC. GAATTC. Okay, it is palindromic sequence. If you want ligate any foreign gene, ligate at the ORI site. Then because the process of replication begins from this site, hence it is called origin of replication. So due to presence of its own palindromic sequence, ORI site pick up foreign gene, accept foreign gene, and helps in replication of foreign gene. It produces large number of copies of foreign gene. It also control the number of copies of foreign gene. This is 2020 NEET object exam question. What is the function of ORI? First function, it receives any foreign gene into their structure. It produces large number of copies. And second function, it also control the number of copies of foreign gene. Okay. Based on this concept, one question covered last year 2020 NEET object exam. Right? That is about ORI. Next to second one, selectable markers. Selectable markers. Here marker in the sense, not this marker, it is different. Marker in the sense, antibiotic encoding genes. Antibiotic encoding genes are called selectable markers. Best example, ampicillin. This one, ampicillin, resistant gene, tetracycline resistant gene, chloramphenicol and kanamycin. Chloramphenicol, kanamycin, ampicillin, tetracycline. These are the four important selectable markers. The selectable markers play a crucial role in identification of transformants from non-transformants. Transformant means a host cell with foreign gene. A host cell with foreign gene is called transformants. Transformants also called recombinants. Next, non-transformant means a host cell without foreign gene is called non-transformant or non-recombinant. For the identification of transformants from non-transformants, selectable markers play a crucial role. According to NCERT book, there are four selectable markers: ampicillin, tetracycline, chloramphenicol and kanamycin. Four examples important for NEET aptitude exam. Right? Next, uh, just now I told that cloning site. Cloning site. Mostly, number of cloning sites vary from species to species. So, better select vector with a single cloning site. Single cloning site. If you select vector with a large number of cloning sites means all cloning sites produce large number of copies. That will complicate gene cloning. That will complicate gene cloning. To overcome these problems, better select vector with a single cloning site. Okay, that is about ORI, selectable markers and cloning sites. Then how can we segregate transformants from non-transformants? Means by using two alternative plates. First one, master plate, and second one, replica plate. Both master plate and replica plate are important. Replica plate is filled with tetracycline medium, and master plate is filled with ampicillin medium. Okay, suppose select a group of bacteria cells, place on master plate. It is already filled with ampicillin resistance gene, means ampicillin containing medium. Replica plate is filled with the tetracycline containing medium. Collect all cells on ampicillin medium. Okay. Some cells grow successfully on ampicillin medium and some cells dead. That means what? A host cell without foreign gene, those cells are called non-recombinants. Non-recombinants unable to grow on ampicillin medium. Only recombinants grow on ampicillin medium. Okay. Next, suppose there are three types of bacteria cells: first bacteria, second bacteria, and third bacteria. And here some bacteria received ampicillin gene and some bacteria received tetracycline, and some bacteria may not receive any foreign gene. Suppose in first bacteria there is no foreign gene. Such bacteria is called non-recombinants. Non-recombinants never grow on medium because this medium contains ampicillin. So ampicillin antibiotic kills non-recombinants. So simply non-recombinants eliminated. Bacteria with the active site of ampicillin. Suppose if you want to produce ampicillin antibiotic, select ampicillin encoding gene placed in tetracycline. Then tetracycline site inactive, ampicillin site active. So this bacteria contain plasmid with ampicillin active site. Such bacteria successfully grow on ampicillin medium. One more bacteria is there, na? Second bacteria means third bacteria. Suppose if you want to produce tetracycline antibiotic, select tetracycline encoding gene that is introduced into ampicillin site. Reverse, opposite. If you want to produce tetracycline antibiotic, select the tetracycline encoding gene from source bacteria, introduce into ampicillin site. Then what happened? Ampicillin site inactive, tetracycline site to active. So then vector introduced into third bacteria. These bacteria cells grow only on replica plate. These cells, they won't grow on master plate because the master plate contains ampicillin. Here ampicillin site inactive. So these types of cells unable to grow on master plate. Next, a cell, bacterial cell with ampicillin active site. These types of cells unable to grow on replica plate because in these cells tetracycline site was inactive due to insertional inactivation. Hence these types of cells won't grow on replica plate. Based on these concepts, by using master plate and replica plate, we are able to segregate transformants and non-transformants. Non-transformants no need. We want only transformants because a bacteria with foreign gene is called transformant. Collect all transformants, transfer to bioreactor. Bioreactor provide all suitable conditions. Under suitable conditions, transformants multiply and produce large number of copies. It replicate foreign gene. So foreign gene equally distributed to all daughter cells. After production of large number of copies, all bacterial cells produce product. What is the product? Ampicillin or tetracycline antibiotics or proteins, enzymes, hormones, vitamins, etc. The type of product will depend on the type of foreign gene. That's all. Okay, that is about cloning vectors. Very important concept. See, look here. These two very important. Ampicillin resistant gene contain two restriction enzymes, PVU1, PST1. Similarly, tetracycline resistant gene contain two restriction enzymes, BOMH1, SOL1. ROP site contain PVU2. So their location is very important. Understood? Right. Understood now? Next concept to some microscopic organisms such as agrobacterium and retrovirus also play a crucial role in genetic engineering technology. Agrobacterium mediated gene transfer and retrovirus mediated gene transfer. Two methods are there. Agrobacterium tumefaciens, one of the soil bacteria. It is living in soil. Okay, it frequently attack plants. It attack only plants but not animals. Clear? Suppose if you introduce any foreign gene into agrobacterium, then agrobacterium spray on plants, means particularly dicot plants, not monocot plants, only dicot plants. Clear? Agrobacterium, first select foreign gene. An example, protein encoding gene. Select protein encoding gene from source bacteria, introduce into agrobacterium. Later agrobacterium spray on pulse crops like red gram, green gram, black gram, horse gram, Bengal gram, any pulse crops. Okay. Then naturally agrobacterium attack pulse crops, release foreign gene into host plant. Thereby foreign gene ligated and integrated with the plant cell DNA. Integrated with the plant cell DNA, replicate along with the plant cell DNA. Okay, such plants are called genetically modified plants. Collect such type of plant cells, culture on culture medium. In the laboratory level on sterilized nutrient culture medium, that is called tissue culture technique. Okay, then by using tissue culture technique we are able to produce large number of plants, means suppose pulse crops with desired characters due to introduction of foreign gene into pulse crops. Such plants grow successfully, adapt local towards weather conditions and produce more crop yield. That's all. It is called agrobacterium mediated gene transfer in plants. Next, retrovirus. Usually, retrovirus a dangerous virus. It causes cancer. Normal healthier cells become cancerous cells. But after development and interaction of biotechnology, harmful retrovirus disarmed into useful retrovirus. Nowadays, retrovirus also acts as agent or vector to deliver any foreign gene into suitable target animals. That's all. That is about agrobacterium and retrovirus. Next, competent host. Competent host. Competent host. Competent means modified host, because naturally no bacteria allow any foreign gene into their body, but after made competent only any bacteria able to allow foreign gene into their body and replicates in their body. So for this purpose, competent host, the process of competent include several methods: cool treatment, heat shock treatment, okay, electrophoresis treatment. Some methods are there. First, select some host cells. Suppose it is the host cell, and foreign DNA, that means plasmid. Host cell and plasmid. Host. Naturally, no host cell pick up foreign gene, but after made competent, how can we made competent means? Select one ice. It is ice cube. Ice. Keep both host and plasmid, both host cell and plasmid on ice. That is called cold treatment. It brings some changes in cell wall of bacteria. Later, take out plasmid and host. Apply for heat shock. At 42 degree Celsius temperature. When we expose both the plasmid and host cell at 42 degree Celsius temperature, that is called heat shock, heat treatment. It brings some changes in cell wall. After heat shock, again put back them on ice. Again both plasmid and host cells, put back them on ice. So after these steps, some changes definitely occur in cell wall, bacteria wall. That is called competent. After made competent only, any bacteria able to pick up foreign gene into their body. Right? Next, to electrophoresis. It is an alternative method for introduction of foreign gene into suitable host at high voltage plus. At a high voltage plus. Select host cell and plasmid, both incubate under high electric voltage. Under electric voltage, some changes occur in host cell, that is called competent. then after made component only host cell pick up foreign gene into their body. That's all. Next to micro injection. Micro injection. Next, bioelastic method. Bioelastic, also called gene gun method. Gene gun method. The method micro injection applicable for only animal cells. Animal cells like eggs, oocytes of vertebrates, embryo cells, etc. In this method, select one injection, means syringe, collect foreign genes into syringe, directly introduce into host cells, animal host cells. That is called micro injection. Hence, micro injection method applicable for only animal cells. One important neat objective question. The bioelastic or gene gun method. This method applicable for only plants. Only plants. You know, gene gun, it looks like a pistol shape. Collect foreign gene. Here we have used some metal ions like gold ions, gold or tungsten. Gold or tungsten. Gold particles or tungsten particles. These particles coated with foreign gene. These particles coated with the foreign gene and load into gene gun. Then select any plant. Better select a smooth part of the plant, that is leaf. With the help of a gene gun, these particles along with that means gold particles or tungsten particles along with the foreign gene with the forcibly bombard means what? Forcibly bombard into the plant cells. That is called bioelastic or gene gun method. Gene means gold particles, tungsten particles easily enter into plant cells. Obviously, foreign gene also introduced into plant cells. Then foreign gene integrate with the plant cell DNA, replicate along with the plant cell DNA. Therefore, some new characters, desired characters, quality characters appear in plants. Such plants are called genetically modified plants. Clear? Okay. So that is the importance of bioelastic or gene gun micro injection. It is for animals. This method widely using for plants. That's all. Right? Next, steps in recombinant technology. Steps in recombinant DNA technology. We are expecting questions compulsorily from micro injection, bioelastic, and competent host. Process of RNA technology. It includes 6 steps. What is first step? Simply I am explaining orally because due to lack of time I am unable to write all steps on board. First step, identification of desired DNA fragments, isolation of DNA fragments. That means isolation of desired DNA. Second step, cutting of DNA by using restriction endonuclease enzymes. Third one, separation of DNA fragments based on their size, length and width by using agarose gel electrophoresis or spooling method. Right? Next step, introduction of ligation of foreign gene with vector. Next step, introduction of rDNA into host cell. And the last step, host cell introduced into bioreactors. Okay, these are the important 6 steps in process of rDNA technology. What is first step? Isolation of DNA. How we can isolate foreign DNA means by using some enzymes like protease enzyme, amylase enzyme, lipase enzyme, okay, lysozyme enzyme, chitinase enzyme, etc. Lipase enzyme used for bacteria, chitinase enzyme for fungus, cellulase enzyme for plant cells, etc. Suppose select some host cells, add lysozyme enzyme on host cells. This enzymes digest cell wall, then take out intracellular material. Means plasmid contain some biological membranes like proteins, carbohydrates, DNA, RNA, etc. Lipase enzyme remove, that means by adding lipase enzyme it remove lipids. Protease enzyme remove proteins. Amylase enzyme remove carbohydrates. Finally we obtain purified DNA. That is one method. Another method, spooling method. After completion of extraction of DNA along with some biological membranes, select one glass tube, membranes place in glass tube and add few drops of chilled ethanol. Chilled ethanol segregate DNA from rest of the biological membranes. Then with the help of spooler means ring-like spoon is called spooler. With the help of spooler we separate DNA. That is called isolation of DNA by spooling method. This is second method. After separation of DNA, add digestive enzymes. That means what? Restriction endonuclease enzymes. These enzymes cut DNA at a particular site, at the middle. Okay, next step, separation of DNA fragments based on their size, length and width. That is called agarose gel electrophoresis. Right? Next, after that we separate by using elution method and visualization method. We can segregate DNA fragments from agarose gel based on their length and width. Out of which, how can we identify desired DNA fragments? Means by using PCR. PCR stands for polymerase chain reaction. PCR. It is also called People's Choice reaction, nicknamely People's Choice reaction. Amplification of gene of interest using PCR. Amplification of gene of interest, PCR, very important concept. It includes 3 steps: denaturation, annealing and extension. Denaturation require 90 degree Celsius temperature. Annealing require 45 to 50 degree Celsius temperature. And extension require 72 degree Celsius temperature. Right? What is denaturation? PCR, polymerase chain reaction. A famous scientist, Cary Mullis first introduced this method. Okay, he used a mission that is called thermocycler. By using thermocycler, he produced a large number of DNA fragments. DNA fragment 5' to 3', 3' to 5'. This is region to be amplified. First step, denaturation. It requires 90 degree Celsius temperature. The process of separation of 2 DNA strands by cutting hydrogen bonds is called denaturation. It requires temperature, heat shock, 90 degree Celsius temperature. These two are separated DNA strands. And these two are primers. Primer. Primer means a small segment of DNA that contain limited number of base pairs is called primer. Primer is complementary to template strand, because here each strand acts as one template. Template means parent strand. So select 2 primer. One of the primer attached with one end, with at third end. Another primer attached with another third end, because the sequence of the primer that is complementary to complementary to template strand at third end. Suppose at third end A adenine, thymine, guanine is there, means primer provide thymine, cytosine, primine, adenine, thymine, adenine, guanine, cytosine, etc. Therefore, the sequence of primer is complementary to sequence of template strand at third end only. Therefore, primer attaches with the template at the third end but not fifth end. Remember, the step is called annealing. Annealing. Temperature 45 to 50 degrees Celsius temperature. That's all. Last step. Last step what? Extension. Primer extension. Extension also require 72 degree Celsius temperature. Here an enzyme play a crucial role, that is called tag polymerase enzyme. Tag polymerase enzyme obtained from Thermus aquaticus bacteria. It is one of the DNA polymerase enzyme. It provides new nucleotide sequence that is complementary to template strand. Therefore, this primer extend this side and this primer extend this side. Therefore, one DNA produce 2 copies. Select 2 copies. Repeat the same process. 2 to 4 copies. Repeat the same process. 4 to 8 copies. So we have to continue this cycle up to 30 times or more than 30 times. Then we are able to produce large number of desired DNA fragments. Okay, that is called amplification of desired DNA using PCR. That's all. Very important concept. 3 steps important: denaturation, annealing, extension. Bacteria name important: Thermus aquaticus bacteria. Enzyme name also important: tag polymerase enzyme. That's all. The last step, bioreactors are of 2 kinds: simple stirred tank bioreactor, sponge stirred tank bioreactor. These 2 bioreactors are clearly given in NCERT. Once practice diagrams and read paragraph lines. Bioreactor provide all suitable conditions for growing microbes. Useful microbes are also called transformants. So it provides optimum temperature, regular aeration mechanism, continuous supply of culture medium, temperature, etc. Okay, that's all. Last step, DSP. DSP stands for downstream processing. It is final step. It includes 3 steps: SPP, separation of product, purification of the product, and preservation of the product. That's all. After completion of preservation of the product send it for strict clinical tests. Okay, because GEAC, Genetic Engineering Approval Committee, GEAC, one of the government organization, it give patent for the production of any product like enzymes, hormones, vaccines, vitamins, antibiotics, etc. So after getting patent, then only any pharmaceutical company is able to produce large quantity of enzymes, hormones, vaccines, vitamins, and antibiotics. That's all. This is about DSP, downstream processing, and their sub-steps: separation, purification, and preservation. Understood now? These are the almost main concepts covered from this chapter: biotechnology, principles and processes. My dear students, watch this video properly, understand the concepts, then immediately, means after completion of watching video, immediately read NCERT lines, immediately practice objective questions. We are expecting minimum 3 questions and maximum 5 questions this time, 100%, no doubt at all. Thank you very much. See you. Prepare well. Have a nice day.